Why did God harden Pharaoh's heart? Have you ever thought of that? Was God trying to be petty? Was he being wicked, to Pharaoh? Did he just want to release plagues and, just destroy everything? I don't think so. For God, it was never really about Pharaoh. It was also not just because, he wanted to prove that he's sovereign, right? It was never really because he wanted to prove that he's the one true God, right? I mean, those things, yes, he was trying to make the children of Israel believe in him again, right? Those things are true, but they were secondary, right? For God, it was for one principal reason, and that's his covenant, his promise, his word, the promise that he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and their descendants, the covenant that he couldn't break. In my last video, I hinted at how Jacob, didn't quite live up to expectations, but it didn't really matter because God had already released that promise, right? And even if it seemed like Jacob and his descendants fell short, even Joseph that we're using to have small hope, right? He also fell short. But for God, all those things didn't really matter. He had made the covenant, he had given that promise, and for him, that was really why he went all out with all the plagues and, just to show that his word was his bond. His word is his bond. God didn't harden Pharaoh's heart, to be cruel or to be manipulative, right? He did it because his covenant was at stake. His word was on the line. See, when God's word is on the line, he would move heaven and earth to fulfill it. If you read Acts chapter 7, you would see Stephen's account of the origin of, God's promise and how it ties to the Israelite story, right? But until the Pharaoh that knew Moses died, the Israelites were suffering, yes, but they hadn't yet cried out to God. They hadn't invited God into their pain, right? They felt, I think what triggered it was that they felt that the new Pharaoh, was going to come with fresh affliction, right? Was going to come and show them Shigi Promax. And so that led them to cry out, to sigh, to groan. And that groaning to God was prayer enough. It was as good as prayer. And to him, that cry for help was an invitation, into that situation. And, when God heard it, it triggered his memory. He remembered the covenant that he made with their fathers, and when he was talking to Moses, he said, "This is why I have come down myself to rescue my firstborn son, Israel." I think for those of us under the new covenant, there's a powerful lesson here. God would always honor his word. That's the truth. He would go to any lengths to fulfill it. His word isn't just his bond. His word is his integrity. His word is his person, his essence. To default on his word it will be an indictment to his very being. Do you understand? It's because he and his word cannot be separated. They are one. When you really think about it, when you really think about why God hardened Pharaoh's heart, think beyond Pharaoh. It wasn't about Pharaoh. It was about the unshakable truth behind God's word. It was because God's word is living and breathing, right? God's word is undefeatable. It has life of its own. So it was his word that was literally pulling him to defend it, right? Because his word really is him. That's the reason why he fights our battles for us, right? It's not just for our victory. it's because of the integrity of his word. It's because his word promises it. Do you get? Like, even if heaven and earth pass away, his word will remain. That's the efficacy of his word, that it will stand. I think it's in John chapter 12. It said his word will stand, it will stand and judge, right? Because his word is eternal. God cannot even go back on his word. It's not because he lacks the power to, but it's because his very nature would not allow it. Do you get? Like, his word would judge him if he did, right? That's how sacred, that's how binding, that's how alive the word is. His word would judge him if he breaks it. So it's not even possible. So let's rethink God hardening Pharaoh's heart, right? He didn't just do it because, he wanted to prove a point, right? It was never about Pharaoh. It was not even about the Israelites, right? The Israelites were undeserving. So it was, let's just tell ourselves the truth. It was never about them. It was all about his word, his promise, his covenant, that binding spirit behind his word. That's why he did it. And here's what we often forget, that we too are privy to that same word. We have full access to the efficacy of that word, to the promise behind that word. We have full access to the power, the grace, the covenant of faithfulness. But many of us don't even realize it. Many of us are sitting on a gold mine, but we don't know.